3 blocks in 1 possession. That's what Victor Wembanyama did against the Trailblazers, something we haven't seen in the NBA for over 2 decades. The French phenom isn't just living up to the hype, he's shattering every rookie expectation. Right now, we're watching a 7'4" alien who can cross you up like Kyrie, shoot like KD, and protect the rim like Prime Mutombo, all in the same play. Enter Zach Edey, another 7'4" giant who's been making noise lately, especially after dropping 25 points on the Nets. Basketball Twitter's been buzzing, comparing these two towers. But real talk, this comparison isn't what you think, and I'm about to show you why it's not even close. Hit that subscribe button right now because we're diving deep into the most exciting rookie season we've seen in years. Trust me, you won't want to miss what comes next. On paper, both these giants stand at 7'4", but that's where the similarities end. Wembanyama moves like a guard trapped in a center's body. At 210 pounds, he glides across the court with unreal smoothness. His 8-foot wingspan, that's longer than anyone currently in the NBA, letting him block shots that other players can't even dream of reaching. Edey brings a completely different presence to the court. At 300 pounds, he's built like the traditional centers of old. His 7'7" wingspan is impressive, but watch how differently he uses it. While Wemby's light frame lets him recover quickly on defense and switch on to smaller players, Edey relies on pure power and size to dominate his space. The way they move tells the whole story. Wembanyama can sprint full court, handle the ball through traffic, and still have the energy to sky for a block. Watch any Spurs game, you'll see him running the fast break like a point guard. Meanwhile, Edey owns the paint with his strength, but step him out to the perimeter and you'll see a totally different player. In today's NBA, where speed and versatility rule, this difference is massive. Just look at their defensive footwork. When guards try to attack Wembanyama on switches, he stays with them step for step, something we've never seen from someone his size. Edey, though, teams specifically target him in pick-and-roll situations, forcing him to defend in space where his size becomes less of an advantage. Raw numbers don't always tell the full story, but in this case, they scream the truth. Take a good look at what Wembanyama's doing right now, putting up 21 points a game as a rookie. The last rookie center to score like this while blocking shots at this rate? You'd have to go back decades to find one. And even then, you wouldn't find anyone doing it quite like this. Now, check Edey's current run, 11 points per game in about 20 minutes of action. Solid numbers for a rookie, no doubt. But here's where it gets interesting. Even with limited minutes, he's had some standout moments. That 25-point explosion against Brooklyn showed flashes of what he can do. But consistency? That's where Wembanyama separates himself. The rebounding battle tells an even clearer story. Wemby's grabbing 10.5 boards a game, using that freakish wingspan to snatch rebounds outside his area. Mix in his 3.6 blocks per game, currently leading the entire NBA, and you're looking at defensive numbers that would make Bill Russell proud. Meanwhile, Edey's averaging 6.4 rebounds and 1 block. Good numbers, but nowhere near that game-changing impact.
Edey, a walk-up 3, it's in! Zach Edey! Throw it up to the sky.
But here's what really sets them apart. Wembanyama's doing all this while stretching the floor and handling the ball. He's knocking down threes, leading fast breaks, and still managing to be the most feared shot blocker in the league.
What a start by Victor Wembanyama.
Mixing it up, and look at this one here. Again, he's got to find the right amount. Just destroyed that one and then stays in there on the offensive rebounds.
That's not just Rookie of the Year material. That's potential MVP stuff down the line. Defense is where this comparison really opens up. Watch any Spurs game and you'll see entire offensive game plans change the moment Wembanyama steps on the court. Teams literally avoid the paint when he's around. And the crazy part? He's not just camping in the paint like traditional shot blockers. Those 3.6 blocks per game only tell half the story. What makes Wemby special is how he gets them. He's blocking 3-point shots. Yes, you heard that right. Blocking shots from beyond the arc. One play, he's swatting a guard's jumper. The next, he's recovering to stuff a center at the rim. The Spurs' defensive rating improves by nearly 8 points when he's on the floor. Edey brings his own defensive presence, but it's straight from the old-school big man handbook. He uses his size well to protect the rim, averaging that single block per game. But in today's pick-and-roll heavy NBA, teams have figured out how to attack him. Pull him away from the basket, and suddenly that size advantage becomes a mobility challenge.
Drift by Colvin, and another block by Edey, rejecting a shot in Ryan Nembhard.
I thought Canadians were supposed to be nice. That wasn't nice.
The real difference shows up in clutch moments. We've already seen Wembanyama come up with game-saving blocks, like that ridiculous sequence against Portland where he looked like he was playing volleyball. When guards try to switch onto him, they're not finding the mismatch they're hoping for. Instead, they're meeting a 7'4" defender who moves like a wing player and has the reach of, well, nobody else in NBA history. The modern NBA demands versatility, and this is where the gap really shows up. Picture this. Wembanyama catches the ball at the three-point line, hits his defender with a crossover, takes 2 long strides, and finishes with a fadeaway that starts above the defender's reach. That's not just a random highlight. That's a regular Tuesday for Wemby. His offensive toolkit is unlike anything we've seen. He's hitting threes at a decent clip, handling the ball in transition, and still dominating inside when needed. The Spurs are even running plays where he starts as the ball handler. Think about that. A 7'4" player running pick and roll as the guard. And it works. Switch to Edey's offense, and you're watching a completely different game. He's mastered the traditional big man role. Those 11 points per game come mostly from within 10 feet of the basket. That Brooklyn game where he dropped 25, pure power basketball. Hook shots, putbacks, dunks, all valuable skills, but all confined to one area of the court. But here's what really sets their offenses apart. Wembanyama creates his own shots from anywhere. When defenses adjust, he adjusts right back. Double team him on the perimeter, he'll find the open man. Pack the paint, he'll step out and shoot over you. Meanwhile, Edey relies heavily on guards feeding him in the post. Both approaches can work, but only one fits where the NBA is heading. Looking ahead, we're watching 2 very different career paths unfold. Wembanyama isn't just playing well, he's rewriting what's possible for a 7-footer in the NBA. Every game, he's adding new moves to his arsenal. One night, he's hitting step-back threes. The next, he's showing off a new post move. And remember, he's still just 20 years old. The Spurs are building their entire future around him. And why wouldn't they? His ceiling isn't just all-star level. We're talking potential face of the league material. Teams are already changing how they draft and develop players because of him. They're all searching for the next Wemby. But here's the thing, there might not be another one. Edey's path looks different, but that doesn't make it any less interesting. His power game fits a specific role that teams still need. Just look at how guys like Steven Adams and Rudy Gobert have carved out valuable careers. As Edey develops his NBA conditioning and timing, he could become a serious problem for teams lacking traditional big men. The real story isn't just about their individual futures. It's about what they represent. Wembanyama shows us where the NBA is going. Positionless basketball taken to its absolute limit. Edey reminds us that there's still room for traditional skills in the modern game. But in a league that's all about versatility and spacing, only one of these styles is really shaping basketball's future. Let's put this whole comparison into perspective. Right now, Wembanyama isn't just playing a different game than Edey. He's playing a different game than anyone we've ever seen. The numbers, the highlights, the impact, they all point to something unprecedented in NBA history. Sure, they're both 7'4", and they're both rookies finding their way in the league. But while Edey is working to master his role as a traditional big man, Wembanyama is busy destroying our entire concept of what a big man can be. He's not just blocking shots and grabbing rebounds. He's leading fast breaks, hitting threes, and making plays that shouldn't be possible. This isn't about who's better right now. It's about understanding that we're watching the evolution of basketball in real time. Wembanyama isn't just a great rookie. He's a glimpse into basketball's future. a future where height doesn't limit your skills, where 7-footers play like guards, and where the old positions we're used to don't matter anymore. The NBA has seen great big men before. It's seen athletic freaks and skilled giants, but it's never seen anyone quite like Victor Wembanyama. That's not a knock on Edey, it's just the reality of watching history unfold right in front of us. If you're as excited as I am about watching NBA history in the making, hit that subscribe button right now. We're breaking down game-changing players and moments like this every week. And don't forget to like this video if you learned something new. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.